At least my neighborhood. I'm at the Kennedy Center. I don't know if you could tell. There's the building on this side of me, and it overlooks the Potomac River. And if you stand out there by the railing, you can see Georgetown. See some people walking the dog and stuff. And that's Virginia across the river there. But what I want to talk about is micro businesses today. And there's a new grant, and this is only for San Diego, but I talked to you about it because there's programs like this in other states, other cities that are local. This is where all the action's happening now, is at the local level. There will be very few national programs that one application is available, for everybody in the United States to apply to. Unless we get some real big thing happening to it, it's all going to be local, and that's why you have to learn about the local. And that's why I'll put the link in here when I get back after running, which is probably about 45 minutes or so, so you can see the details. But it's called micro businesses. Now that means very small businesses. Small businesses by the SBA go up to 500 employees. They consider that a small business. But here's the information on this. And what I'm doing is telling you this so you can look for something similar. I'm just getting a notice in my ear from my running app that I've been an hour and 20 minutes out already. So to find programs like this in your city, county, state, and things like that. So it says small businesses in San Diego affected by COVID-19 could soon receive $2,500 boost after county overseers approved a grant program on Tuesday. So they approved the program, and it'll be available. They unanimously approved $2,500 to help 1,550 small businesses, defined as earning less than $50,000 back in 2019. So if you had less than $50,000 in 2019. And he said the list could include household businesses. This is home businesses such as pets, shoppers, cleaners, home health care workers, and sidewalk vendors such as food cart operators. See, all those are small businesses, and that's what this is aimed at, very small. So you can't make more than $50,000. Okay, here's what it says. The grants are planned to be distributed equally among the county's 5 supervisory districts with the help of the information at farmers' events, markets, and libraries, as well as through community grants and door-to-door research. Not sure what all that means, but looks like they want to get it even across. State and county officials hope the grants will reach small businesses run by facing historic barriers, those facing historic barriers to raising capital, including women, minorities, veterans, limited English speakers, and low to middle income rural businesses. So that's the businesses they're hoping to get this to. So here's the eligibility requirements. If you were launched before 2020, so that means you had to be launched at sometime 2019 or before. So you have to be started your business before January 1, 2020. Is the owner's main source of income and is currently operating or as plans to reopen. So you don't even have to be open now. You could have been closed for a while. But if you were open back in 2019 or earlier, then you're eligible for this. And you generated income less than $50,000 in 2019. It currently has 5 or fewer full-time employees and had 5 or fewer full-time employees in 2019, 2020, and 2021. So you had to have 5 or fewer employees. And COVID-19 significantly affected you. And you not previously received a grant from California Small Business Grant Program. See, so they've been having these all the time. How many of you know about this, okay? Now, who they're having help accept the application is the Small Business Development Center. I told you about those guys over and over. See, that's a good place to check for grants. Just don't check Google. You have to start talking to people like these people, the Small Business Development Center, to find out more about local people, local grants. And that's just one of the places to check. But that's why they're more likely to know about this. The SBA may or may not, or whatever. County grants will be distributed in 2020. The first application process will run between February 15th until 5 p.m. of March 31st. So you have now until March 31st at 5 p.m. To apply. And if there is any grant left over after the first round, they'll have additional round of it. See, so this is what's going on. Everybody thinks, oh, there's no more grants. The EDIL, yes, it's gone. But there's all these other grants that people don't know about. You have to know about them stuff. It requires digging, and that's what Let's Go Help does, man. I mean, what's fun to me is I find out about these through members. See, and that's what members of Let's Go Help tell me about these grants, and that's what's cool. They're out there, shaking the bushes to help other members. And what they're also doing too is helping members learn. I can't hear. Helping members learn the process of applying for grants. First of all, you don't need a grant writer. For something like this, or most of the grants you're going to be eligible for and apply for, you won't need a grant writer. So people say you need a grant writer. Well, in theory you do, but you probably won't if you're looking for personal grants or grants for a very small business. They don't require 15 pages and storytelling and all this kind of nonsense. It'll be a few pages to fill in the blanks and that it. So if you're a big nonprofit and want a lot of money, yes, you will need a grant writer. If you're a big business and want to work on some, you got $1 million for your invention, yes, you'll probably need a grant writer. But for the average person struggling through life, you won't need a grant writer. And that's the important part. And that will just scare you and put it. The hard part of getting grant money for the average person is finding the place to apply. And that's the key to all of this. Knowing where to apply and finding the right place. And that's why it's using the phone. Use the internet, but don't use Google. Use the internet to find sources, mine or other people, that aggregate these kinds of things so you could follow up on it. And that's what, and the best thing to do is use the phone. Now, what we do is show you, if you remember Let's Go Help, we give you a report that shows you all the offices, like the one that gives out this grant in California. Or not giving out the money, they're the place to apply. See, we have all those offices for every state. So if you remember, we send you a list of offices. These are the states these are the offices in your state to contact to find out about grants. And the best way to do that is on your phone. I mean, of course, you won't always get there, and it may take work, but yet, how long have you been looking for a grant? So if you spend 20 minutes on the phone, or 30 minutes on the phone, 40, 50, whatever, man, what'd you do the last 30 minutes? Probably you spent 80 hours on Google and got nothing. That's why you have to cut through that bullshit and what's out there by getting on the phone and talking to people who should know about this stuff. And that's the key. People have been through it, they know about it. Another good place to start, not only the Small Business Development Center, is that Meetup.com. Meetup.com. These are people who share their information free, like Let's Go Help, but you got to join Let's Go Help. Meetup.com is free, and what they do is they have groups. They have thousands of, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. Anything in New York State? Yes. Every state has these things. You got to fish it out, and if you're not willing to do the work, you probably won't get a whole lot, unless the obvious things that everybody applies to, and they're probably all taken now and things like that. The gems aren't there. You're going, sort of like panning for gold, and if you expect to just sit on your fat ass and have someone show you an application to fill out. Man, I mean, that may happen, but I doubt it. And most of the times it won't anyway. And if you're really in trouble, you really want the money, you got to pull up your, put on your big boy pants and get out there and start digging around. You see the testimonials on Let's Go Help. That's how people do this, man. It doesn't come by itself, you know, and you think it does, and the hucksters like me will try to make you believe, because they'll say, how easy this is, just do this, when in fact it ain't, you know. It's out there, though. That's the easy part. It's real. And every program I show you is a real program, gives out real money, and they have laws that make them have to do that. And it's learning the system, learning it. It's like walking up, oh yes, all women like to have sex, but you can't just walk up to one and say you want to have sex. Yeah. That's what you're doing when you look for a grant. You want, oh, I want to have an application for a grant. No, it doesn't work that way. It would be nice, and it'd be nice for women too, right? But it doesn't, and you have to learn the system. And to get what you want, you know, everybody doesn't hire employees just because they walk up to the door. You want a job, you can't. You got to learn the system and how to make a match. You know, it's the same thing with finding a loved one or whatever, or getting money for what you want to do. It's out there, but it's you taking the time and the effort to learn how to do it. If you have better things to do, God bless you. Yeah, that's you made late night TV entertaining in the zeros. Yes. Yeah, I was a lot on TV because it was free advertising. That's why I never spend money on advertising. I mean, now I do. I mean, at times I did or whatever, only when I really figured it out well enough to know. But never start spending money on advertising if you start something new. You're just going to waste money. I did that for 2 businesses and then realized if I act like a clown, I could get free TV. Looking great similar. How are you looking? Great similar. Well, how do I look? Well, I don't think my hair is the same as I was back in the 90s and the 2000s. That turned white on me. I don't know how that happened. But it's all, I mean, for me, it's exercising every day. I'm out walking 6 or 7 miles today. I can't run anymore. I stopped about a year ago, and I'm 78. So I ran that long, and I ran that far every day. I'm not a jock. I don't, you know, I was a fat little kid, so I don't know anything about being a jock. I just trying to figure out what's good for me to live long and contribute and give as much as I can. Doing something you like to do in life, so you don't have the stress of being pissed off at work every day. That's another thing to try to do. It's hard and it's not easy, and even though you find something, there's always frustration in life, but that pressure that jobs give you, and because you have no control over what people want and pleasing other people, and so they lean on you when you fuck up. You don't know how or what they want anyway. We don't have enough language to express that, and that's why you have to come from the heart. And that's why even marketing to me has to come from my heart. The more that's what Let's Go Help. I hear people's problems, what they do, and try to open my heart to see what they really need and what they really want, so I could figure out a way to make it easier for them and do it. And that's what I want to do in my life forever. I always come from there. Absolutely. I mean, I don't know, maybe about 10 years ago, in giving advice to one of my sons, it was happening. I came out with a saying, that's why I like giving advice. I like to hear what I believe, not what I do. It's hard. It's hard to do the right stuff in life, even if you believe it, because there's no encouragement. But I said, it came out of my head, your heart is smarter than your brain. Because that's it. That tells you more of the truth. Not your brain. You learn to do what do you call it? You know, a spreadsheet and checking off the boxes and all that kind of stuff, man. Real stuff doesn't happen in life. There's no spreadsheet for making love. You know, there's following your heart. Is there a number or website to help with these grants? Well, mine. letsgohelp.com or letsgoreports.com. So Let's Go Help is $20. And that's where you get personal help from me and my researchers and everything, and from other members. And you can ask 1,000 questions a day if you like, and that's $20. And then Let's Go Reports is $5.95 for individuals. In other words, individual reports. So if you want to start a business in Milwaukee, well, Let's Go Reports will send you all the places to contact to learn all these little programs, like the micro enterprise thing. See, they're not one source that everybody has that. No, that will come and go in months and whatever. But what you have to know is who knows about this stuff, and start touching those bases. See, because if I did a report that had all the new things that are there, they're going to be gone soon. and I can't charge just $20 to do that. So that's why I give you the sources. As who's that guy walked in the black cape? It's let the source be with you. That's what it's all about. It's finding the sources, and that's what I do. I show you. Okay, here's the sources in Wisconsin that help people start, expand a business. They'll know about that grant that came and gone. They'll know about the next one that comes and goes. And not one of them, you got to contact a dozen of those. And figure out it all, and keep your ears open that maybe you're asking the wrong question, because what we have in our mind may or may not be there, and there's other ways to do what you want to do if you keep your mind open. And that's the thing, and that's what's good about failing. You go out and fail and do the things you think you should do, and that gets you things that you really should do, because what you thought you should do in the beginning is wrong. 99% it is wrong. I've written 100 books and only 10 made money. That means what I start out to do, I was wrong 90% of the time. But that leads me to a right one. And that's what you have to do. You have to do a bunch of wrong shit to get to the right shit. Isn't that right? Are there any one? Every state. No state is different. Some just have more than others. So it's all there. And that's what's available. So I'll be doing a couple of videos a day now, I think. I sort of like doing that. And I love the feedback. Always give me feedback, what's good or bad, or indifferent, so I can learn and grow. Because otherwise, if I'm not doing, like a lot of people on Let's Go Health said, I don't give enough step by step. And I actually do, but not in their way. So what I have to do, yes, absolutely, Excel. I just did one this morning for Excel, or maybe it was last night, I forgot. Yes, and just apply anyway. Don't look for ones just for excellence. Just look for anyone just to start a business. And if they say you can't accept, well, okay, just go on. It's sort of like getting a date. One doesn't want to date you because you're an ex-felon. Screw it, go to the next one. And that's what it is. I wish I could. You can for $20. You got me. I answer every question on Facebook every new question. I answer personally. I like doing that. So I learn. Rest, apply everywhere, anywhere. Keep your own. Keep getting input. And that's what it is. You have to do the work. You have to get out there and talk to people and find out why the shit's in your head is dumb. They'll tell you very well. And if you still believe it, then you keep trying somewhere else and trying somewhere else. And the people say what you're doing is dumb, or they don't have what you want, then you say, where else can I go? That's the only way you're going to build. That's the only way you're going to grow. You don't wait for $1 million idea and then make it happen. To tell you the truth, most $1 million ideas don't happen, but they lead you as you're going to your $1 million idea to the one thing you should have happened. You don't know enough to know what really should work, but you learn by trial and error. And you could, what Mike Tyson says, everybody has a plan when they get in the boxing ring. But as soon as you get hit in the face, man, that plan is over, right? And that's what it is. And that's why the thing is, for all your plans, don't spend money, because you're probably going to get hit in the face, and your plan will go out the window. So, and that's what I do. I show you places to do anything you want for free money. There's also an option around doing it. You have to go out and get hit in the face so you find out about it. What you really have to do and how hard it is, and start getting better at it. There's no shortcut unless doing nothing, and then just life eventually gets over. Well, who wants to do that? Man, that's boring as hell. Go out there and get beat up. Let everybody beat you up so you get smarter. But if you don't keep trying, then you're not getting smarter. So go out there and get beat up, pick your ass up and try it again. Something new, something different, and then you build something. You got the temperament. Look at all the assholes running things in this country. It doesn't take a mental genius to do shit. It means getting off the floor and doing it again. And so you have to be a little stupid. Isn't that right? Well, thanks for putting up with me. Talk to you again.